Okay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Memorial Day to those here in the United States, and happy Monday for those around the world. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you're joining us from around the world. We feel like we've been around the world, and we're about to head around the world in a few days. So it's been very exciting, all the amazing things that are going on. So we're Greg and Meta Warmbier, obviously very, very excited, very super excited to share this amazing technology of X39, this simple little patch that's changed our lives. And my wife Mena kind of give a few disclosures, and we'll get started.
So thank you for jumping on, and for those of you from the United States that are on here, thank you for taking the time to be with us on a holiday, and thank you to those who served. We appreciate all of you. So we are not medically trained at all, but we are here to share this technology because it is changing the trajectory of people's lives. People that we're sharing with that are hopeless are now having hope again and are excited to wake up in the morning. And so we cannot not share. And that is why we are here every Monday. And when we're not here, we are grateful to those that step in and share because you really are a blessing to us and to everybody on team. But thank you for being here. If you see people, you see that you've invited some people and they are not here, please do remind them, hey, by the way, we're online now, jump on, because we're going to share something that I believe is every one of us knows someone who is going to be blessed by this. We do keep everybody on mute. Because we want to get through a presentation. The first half is a product. We discuss the product and what the product is doing. And the second half is a high level overview of how money is made and why people are jumping on board with us. If you're not here for that, you're more than welcome to jump off. But do take lots of notes because we're going to be sharing some good information. We have some great testimonies as well. So thank you for being on here.
Yes, and so one thing that many of you know, some of you who are new maybe did not know, that we took a look at this product a little over 2.5 years ago, September of 2022, primarily because a good friend of mine, Ken, told us that, have you heard about this patch? He explained some of the things that happened to one of his friends, was in a car accident. Within a week, her pain was gone. I'm like going, I'd be interested in that because back in 2016, I had a car accident where someone slammed to the back of my car, damaged my neck, my shoulder, my back. Not good. Chiropractic, acupuncture, acupressure, every kind of therapy imaginable, including these things called stim guns. I call them the pain gun. And on my knee and also on my hip, I had pain a few years later. So I had 5 areas of issues, and my friend told me about this patch. He said, just try it. I said, I'll try anything. Well, 3 days later, no issues with my knee, my hip, my neck, my shoulder, my back. I'm like, what in the world is this? How does this work? And literally started researching the videos and the information they sent us, and that's what we're going to share with you today. And now we'll be a business all over the world because we can't stop sharing how this is changing lives. And we've been able to help people with a lot of things, and we're going to share a little bit more about that. But I've been basically issue-free for the past 2.5 years, and it's been absolutely amazing. Over 20 things that have improved for me personally, not including the thousands of people that we've been able to help. So we're going to share some information with you and talk a little bit more. But one of the first things that we always ask people, have you been patched yet? Because if you haven't patched, whoever invited you, you're going to say, how do I get these patches? Because you're definitely going to want to have access to these because they are going to change your life like they changed ours. What it does, it elevates what's called GHK copper peptides. It activates our stem cells, which regenerates our body. So we heard about that. We started researching more about the company, who the people were, and found this guy here, David Schmidt, unbelievable individual. Now he's got over 200 patents. So we're going to update this slide very soon. He's the CEO and inventor of this amazing product, X39. He's a scientist and inventor specializing in age reversing. Thank God for people like this, right? We've got a chance to meet David many times. In fact, we saw him kind of virtually when we were at the corporate office this past week. We'll talk more about that later. But in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research. And this one product, the X39, took 10 years, $4.5 million worth of research involved to come up with this one product. That's amazing that he took that much time to take that so that we can have changed lives.
So my background is law. I'm an attorney, and I was really, really very skeptical. I don't believe anything, you got to prove it to me before I actually start to even give 2 minutes of my attention to it. But so, when we were approached, I said no. I put my hands up in the air, and there was like no ways I was going to listen to anybody. But, Greg's results were undeniable. So obviously something was happening. And then I saw on the website that this product, there is a patent out on this product. And I understood that you cannot have a patent unless you prove that this is a product that is one of a kind. And also that all these factual statements that are made in this 22-page document are in fact have been proven to happen. And when I saw things like this particular paragraph, which we can all read, and I mean, you can go and look at this patent yourself. It says in this particular paragraph, embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, which was a big one for me, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, improved wound healing. And I thought, oh my goodness, my thing is I don't want to miss out, fear of missing out. Greg FOMO, short, and Greg's results, like I said, were undeniable. So I was like, okay, it says things that I need, so I'm going to try this.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so the one thing we didn't realize is that, why this patch specifically is because of what most people don't know, and almost everybody we talk to doesn't realize this, that basically your stem cells become deactivated over time. So the older you become, you have less and less stem cell activity. Now you think about what stem cells do, they're the repair mechanism in our body. So if you break your arm, basically what happens is the stem cells become what they need to become, the bone marrow, the bone tissue, the bone, or the skin and the nerve cells, anything it needs to be, what it needs to become, they become that. And what happens is over time, they become less and less active, so it takes longer. So what happens by the time you're 30, you have half the stem cell activity you had when you're younger, and by the time you're 60, they estimate 5 to 10% maybe. Well, that's the reason for wrinkles and gray hair and forgetfulness. You walk in a room going, why was I in here again? I forgot to get something. All these things that happen over time when you're aging. And so what's amazing about this, when you start activating your stem cells, your body starts acting younger. And basically it's like going down a down escalator, mentioned it, down escalator stopping. And now you're going back up the down escalator and you're getting younger and younger and younger. It's absolutely amazing. That's what they talk about being age reversing.
So how does it work? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. So a lot of us understand light therapy. Well, similar concept, but it's patented nanocrystal technology. It reflects our own heat and light from our own body to activate it. It's not transdermal. There's no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. Not invasive. There are no stem cells in here. And are you?
Yeah,
LifeWave is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition.
Yeah, and most of us experience, phototherapy. They call it photobiomodulation every day. That when we go out in the sun basically rays hit our skin, which is our biggest organ in our body. It's one of our organs, which is kind of interesting. People don't realize that, but it elevates and activates things in our body like vitamin D, right? So what happens is that when we go in the sun's not pushing out vitamin D, it's pushing out actually a frequency of light that basically hits our skin and elevates the things in our body. Well, the same thing as patch. We emit light 24/7, so it hits this patch, reflects back in our body a specific frequency that activates these copper peptides that activate our stem cells. It's absolutely brilliant. So some of the benefits that we see from this, again, you look at things like increased strength. Once again, that's one of the things we've seen for people as you get older. The one thing that's very important is that, but even performance athletes love this. Reduced inflammation, that's huge. They call it the root cause of every disease. So once again, increased stamina, energy, and vitality. I'm trying to talk slow. Mental clarity, again, restored muscle conditions, improvements of sleep, and improved skin appearance. You want to talk a little bit about the sleep improvement?
Yeah, so, I didn't think that this would help with sleep. I was taking it because my hands were stiff. In the morning there was inflammation that had set in. And about a week and a half after using the product consistently, because it's a daily thing, I had the most amazing sleep. For many, many years, I had not slept well at all because I go to bed with everybody's problems, everyone... I just worried a lot, and I could not switch off when I put my head on the pillow. And thank God I am now, like maybe 28 months that I put my head on the pillow at night and I'm gone till the next morning. Even if I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the restroom, I go back to bed, put my head on the pillow and gone again until the next morning. And it's just the most amazing thing, because if you're not sleeping, your body is not resting and repairing. And so it could be detrimental to one's health. Worry is is a problem as well. So I'm so grateful that all this time my sleep has really, really improved.
Hashtag hallelujah. So for me, because she used to wake me up, it's driving me nuts. So again, achieving optimal health is a state of complete physical and mental and social well-being. That's what this does. And there's could be pages and pages of this. This is an example of a few different things.
So this is a topography map. It is a scan of a 77-year-old woman's brain. And she participated in this trial that David he wanted to show inflammation in the brain. And he asked her to be really consistent with what she did, and that was just to wear the patch. Back of her neck, every day, a new patch, and stay hydrated. So she did nothing else other than start wearing the patch. No diet change, no more extra supplements, none of that. Just simply sticking this wearable technology on the back of her neck every day. Session 1, before she starts wearing the patch, is a scan of her brain, has a lot of red, bright reds, oranges, and bright colors. And in fact, David explains that, saying that that is inflammation in the brain. So meaning that the brain cells are not functioning properly, and so therefore lack of brain coherence, like forgetfulness, like anxiety, like stress, worry, concern, PTSD. Session 2, 3 weeks, same lady wearing the patch consistently for 3 weeks now. And you see a lot of those bright colors are no longer there. David says that means that inflammation has detoxed. There's less inflammation or no inflammation, and improved brain coherence. Thank God. Session 3, only 6 weeks later, because people are saying, I did this, I did that to help with brain fog or with memory. But this is so simple, and it's only 6 weeks later that there is that complete turnaround and better brain coherence. If we did a clean diet, we'd probably have to do that as a lifestyle forever, and we'd have inconsistencies as well. But David says, if this is just the brain, if he had scanned every organ in her body, it probably would have looked like it looked at session 1. So I'm grateful that we've been using this for a while. So I think our scans will show session 3, which is a blessing.
I want to patch all my friends as we talk about brain balance. I'm going, here you go. Because again, we all have different challenges and stuff like that. It's pretty amazing. So long-term results, you can find this on thisisit.info.com. We'll talk more about that later. But the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset to a younger, healthier state. Now, I still don't understand that. All I know is that once again, your brain basically goes into balance, your body goes into homeostasis, and really what's happening is that your body's going into a reboot. The same way that if my phone, was locking up or my computer's locking up, so what do? Do I continue going, okay, it's not working, what do I do? No, you reboot the phone, you reboot the computer. And so that's the one thing that usually we will see with something like that in our bodies. Within the first few days, people go, I just feel better. I'm getting better sleep, better focus, better energy. Really, really amazing. But the thing is, you hear about other things like resveratrol that's in red wine. People talk about that also resets genes. Well, that resets 2 genes. This resets 4,000. A little bit of difference, huh? So within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced, like Mena showed there. Within 3 months, collagen levels increase 200, 300, 400%. We used to drink collagen shots and pills and all kinds of stuff like that. This is naturally increasing your collagen levels. Thicker hair, better nails. I mean, everything, your skin, all this stuff. And collagen is very, very important for everything. It actually makes all the different parts of our eyes and everything else. So within 6 months, this is the big one. Your heart reverses in age, an average of 6 months younger. So, 8 months, 8 years, my God. Within 6 months, your heart reverses about 8 years younger. So when you think about that, one of the biggest killers is heart disease. When you talk about showing this to somebody and actually allowing them to wear this patch, within 6 months, their heart reverses in age. That is absolutely huge. We've helped people avoid all kinds of challenges with heart conditions like that. So that's why David Schmidt says this is not anti-aging, it's age reversing. That's a pretty bold statement, but we understand he can back it up scientifically with everything that he talks about.
So how do we wear the patch? It's quite simple. You wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and the graphics show behind the neck on the C7 or underneath the belly button. But David Schmidt has been, we've heard him say, you can actually stick it where it hurts, okay? But for consistency, they show back of the neck and underneath the belly button. Then you throw the patch away, you put a new patch on, and you just keep repeating it. Stay hydrated, good water with minerals in. So if you're drinking reverse osmosis, I recommend lots of electrolytes and minerals added to that. Just for us, as well, we just add additional electrolytes during the day, and so stay hydrated. And they talk about wearing more than one patch. We've heard of people doing that, but it's not necessary. That this one patch is what did it for us. One patch a day is what did it for us.
And I've always worn it on the back of my neck, but people can move it around. You can put it wherever it hurts. I had 5 areas of pain, so I just said I put the back of my neck, and that made a huge difference for us. So some people talk about, well, are doctors using these? Are other people? We could show thousands of doctors, but this is an example of a couple people here. Here's a facial plastic surgeon, laser eyelid and facial plastic surgeon, MD, that actually he's up in Tampa area. He actually talks about how he used this was because he said he heard about the wound healing properties of this and realized, he said, this might be able to help with some of his clients. Well, the normal time frame for most people, basically when you do these facial plastic surgeries, was literally a month and a half to 2 months. So basically, 6 to 8 weeks for recovery, for a normal recovery from a plastic surgery like that. He started using the patch and giving it to people, giving them a sleeve of 30 prior to them actually coming in. So 30 days prior, wearing it every day for 30 days. And then it only took 7 to 10 days for the same kind of healing. He was blown away. He said, well, if you want to work with me, I'm sending you this. You must use a sleeve because it's going to help with, obviously, with activating the stem cells and helping with the recovery and wound healing. Here's another doctor, Dr. Leland Stillman, actually out of Naples, Florida here. He's like, what is this little tiny patch going to do? He's an expert in phototherapy. So he's got all these, phototherapy light beds, these red light therapy beds, all these different things that people come to him. And he said, all of that he realized was that high level intense therapy for short periods of time, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe. He said, well, this is a low stim therapy for basically a 12-hour period of time. He goes, I bet it works in conjunction. He was blown away, completely blown away. Watch his video on thisisatinfo.com. It's the 4th video down where he talks about how this works and why it works. And now he's like, well, if you want to work with me as a doctor, you must use this patch. Pretty amazing. So we have other examples, again, of people, once again, we could show hundreds of these, a time lapse, once again, day 1, day 42, a year later, what's the difference? Huge difference. Now look at her now. Now, if you don't notice the difference there, you might want to wear this patch because it's going to help with your eyesight as well. I mean, unbelievable differences. And these are not Photoshop. These are regular pictures. Same thing with here. Here's a person who actually was working in rafters, fell through the ceiling, broke 6 ribs, punctured his lung. Extreme discomfort is a word they use, but expected recovery minimum is 6 weeks. He was back to work within 3 weeks. I mean, look at the dates here. The 17th to the 23rd. It's a huge difference within 6 days. And then look at, once again, 13 days, less than 2 weeks later, look at the difference. And we've shown this to people, and we've had other people that have had the same thing. I had a friend of mine who got hit by a car. Same thing, that he had all kinds of, he had broken ribs and bruising, everything else. Within a few weeks, his whole body was completely different. His doctor's like, I've never seen anybody recover like this. You got people with skin ailments. Once again, you talk about different things. Once again, you hear about all the different things that are out there, affecting your skin and stuff like that. Amazing differences when you use this patch. My wife had the same type of issues. This is not her hands, but she had pretty bad issues. You talk about people with like vertigo. This is absolutely amazing. The difference on this. Once again, after 3 months. Now, again, it may take days, may take weeks, take months. So, I mean, if someone did this and took 6 or 12 months, they'd be very happy with that, right? But with 3 months later, if you want to talk a little bit about our friend.
Yeah, so good friend of ours, a lot of you have heard her testimony already, alopecia, which is an autoimmune. Her hair was just not growing and had fallen out. And she tried everything, injections, steroid injections, supplements, shampoos, every lotion, every potion that there was out there. Was frustrated, and for many years was wearing hats and wigs, and I had no idea, and we didn't even know about this technology at the time. She mentioned it to me, obviously very insecure about that. And, when we found out about this, I thought to myself, I wonder if this would even help her, and I shared the information with her. She looked at it and she said, well, what do I have to lose? Which is often what we're hearing from people. Yeah. What do I have to lose? Nothing else is working. And she tried it. Look at the before and after. It speaks for itself. We don't even have to get her on here to testify, because that's it. So what does she do? She ditched her hats and her wigs. In Florida, it's unbearable. It's so hot here. Nobody wants to be walking around with hats, and she's forever grateful forever grateful that we shared with her.
It looks amazing. We just saw them a few weeks ago. Absolutely amazing. And so again, other thing that when people talk about, there's another person here actually had severe Parkinson's. Lily was someone that we got a chance to talk to in South Africa. Lily was having challenges, even feeding himself, brushing his teeth, doing anything. Couldn't even sign his own checks. And Lily honestly didn't want to live anymore. He used to get up in the morning, take his, eat breakfast and take vitamins.
Yeah, and still very, very young.
Yes.
Still very young.
Yeah.
In his 60s, didn't want to live anymore.
No.
And thank God, look, this was a post his wife actually put on Facebook.
Yeah.
Life wave patches, and with the grace of God, we live daily in awe of miracles in our lives. He's water skied for the first time 4 years after being diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Yeah, and so he's been using the patch now for a little while, but Lily had results within days and within weeks and months. His whole life got better and better and better. So again, we're changing lives, around the world. So the one thing is that we know that obviously this product is really sophisticated, but it's so simple to wear. It's really easy to explain. Just stick it on for 12 hours a day. And the testimonies are very life-changing and very emotional. The one thing but we do know is that it absolutely works.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we're always trying to do is make sure that people know about this. So you can take a look at the information on the website and stuff like that. You can go to thisisitinfo.com and take a look at even the testimonials on there. There's a whole testimonial section you can go in there. But if you scroll through, it's really a one-page website. If you scroll through, it's got all these different videos, all this information. It's got medical doctor section. It's got the patents and everything else. But definitely go to thisisitinfo.com to take a look at it. You can't buy anything from there. It's just for informational purposes only, which is really why they set this up.
So we do have testimonies.
Oh, I thought you said we didn't.
Yeah, we do have
I
two
apologize.
testimonies.
Meta did not tell me this. So
He doesn't listen. I wanted to invite Linda to Bukhorst. I believe she's in Sweden. And I hope I haven't messed your name up, Linda. But Linda and I have been going back and forth and chatting, and she has only been using the patches for just over a week, I think. So Linda, if you want to unmute and share with us what you're experiencing already. And I know I did see her on. Mm-hmm. So Linda, there we are.
Hey.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
Sorry, I had to leave from my.
You're breaking up quite a bit, so if you wanted to just stay in one spot so we can hear you.
I think she fell off.
When I looked into information, about the technology, I looked at a few reviews, and you know what? I didn't care how sick I was feeling. I was just like, this is something I need to say yes to with all my heart. I just knew it, that this was something special. So, and what is also great about the business side of things is like, look, I ordered the patches, but I was so impressed by all the information. I saw it as my duty to start sharing right away. Like this is such a blessing for people. And so I already had somebody in my team, even before I received the patches. Then I received the patches, started to wear them. And they said, like, listen, you probably will not feel anything. You just put it on and make a list of all the things that you're experiencing. So I did that. But I don't know what it was, but as soon as I put the patch on my body, on my skin, I felt this sense of relief and this deep inner knowing that I was putting something on my body that was good, So I was just like, oh, that's interesting, and then I just, so the first day that I was wearing the patch, normally, so I had a few things going on. I've got a whole list going on, but there were a few things that were like, for instance, it didn't matter how much I was sleeping, I always would wake up tired, being tired, waking up tired, that kind of stuff. And I work at a factory. So and there I work with machines where I sit a lot. I was recently looking into like, okay, I need to look at my position behind the machines, because because I'm hurting. I'm hurting in my muscles. I'm hurting in my back, my neck. It was just awful. Uh, and I was looking in a solution that way. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like I must be doing something. So on day one, I woke up the next day, and oh my God, did I feel good? Like, I was just like, I cannot believe this. I feel so much different now. I wake up, and on day three, like the pain in my shoulders, the stiffness, the I had specific points that really hurt, and I felt a severe discomfort, and like on day three, it had decreased like majorly. It's a little bit hard to say how much, I would say like 80% or something, but it is, yeah. So I am super excited. I am super excited for how I'm going to feel in a few weeks, in a few months. And another thing that really helped me a lot is because I've got a lot of things going on. And when you have a lot of things going on, then you need your focus. And that was something that I was struggling with as well. And now I can say, like, I see myself that I can focus better, that my focus has been increased. So I am just so grateful for this product already. But another thing that I would love to mention is, like, what I absolutely love is the level of support in the team. Uh, you know, uh, I can even say, like, my faith always has been important, but even that has transformed, like, so much deeper, so much, like, it. And I feel so grateful for that. That is priceless. So next week I'm gonna travel and I'm gonna meet the team. So physically, so that's amazing. So my experience so far, I'm thanking God multiple times a day. Thank you, God. Thank you so much for bringing this onto my path, and I feel it as my duty to share and keep sharing.
Wow.
Yes,
Awesome.
That is
yes,
wonderful
Thank you, Linda.
and
That's
yes,
such a
amazing.
blessing.
yes,
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking
yes.
time out of work. I know you're busy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
But
appreciate you.
it's an honor doing that. So and thank you both for all the work and all the, I'm consuming all the information and trainings, and I'm just so grateful for all that you do. So thank you.
It's our
Fantastic.
pleasure. Thank you,
Fantastic.
Linda.
Yes, yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, keep sharing and
yes,
keep changing lives because your life's changing and we need to change more lives. That's awesome. Thank you for
yes,
sharing.
yes, 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 yes.
Awesome. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Fantastic. And
And
then,
then I
mhm.
have asked Judy Shaw, and I see she's here. And yes, so Ellen was the lady who spoke to Linda. You see, all around the world, we're not even there.
No,
But Ellen shared with Linda, and look at the results. Linda's forever grateful. So thank you to Ellen and the Swedish team who've been working with her,
doing
because
awesome.
if they didn't open their mouths, where would Linda be today? But
That's
what
right.
a blessing. So thank you, Judy. If you're
Thank
on,
you.
There you
Yes,
are.
I am. And to Linda, I've been to Sweden many times. My daughter lived there for about 13 years and about an hour outside of Hovde. So anyway, beautiful country. Glad you're there. Um, the list of things that I've experienced from using the patch is just continues to increase. Started wearing them on January 31st, so not even quite 4 months yet. The very first night, the first thing I noticed was not having to get up to use the restroom. I was waking up 3 or 4 times a night at least and having to go to the bathroom, and it had been that way for a few years. And that first night, that went away. Um, I started noticing, mental clarity within. Prior to that, my husband and I both are using them. My husband has had 17 eye surgeries. He has glaucoma and retina disease. He's had everything from surgeries for eye pressure for the glaucoma to even cornea transplants. So his condition is very severe, and all the doctors have ever been able to do with him is at best stabilize his eyes. So that's good. He was getting expensive injections um, for like 8 years. And 2.5 years ago, we came across some sort of an oral supplement that was like, had something to do with stem cells, not anywhere near to the degree. And that helped at least him not have to have the injections any longer. So when I heard that the patch actually activates stem cells in your body, because intuitively I had asked his doctors years before that even, are they doing anything with stem cell research? Because it just seems like that would help my husband. And he says, no, I don't think so right now. Well, we didn't know about David and what he was doing. But so we started on January 31st. He happened to have a follow-up with his glaucoma doctor 2 weeks later. And at that appointment, his eye pressures, which had been always 14, 12, were down from to 6 and 3, to the point that the eye that had the pressure of 3, he could go off of drops. Because even with all these surgeries, he still had to use drops to regulate pressures. The a week after that, he had a retina appointment follow up. So this is just 3 weeks after using the patches, and he did better on the eye charts that week. And there were some areas of little hemorrhaging in the back of the eye that had been there for about a year. And his retina specialist said, "Oh my goodness, those hemorrhaging spots are almost gone. The only thing different he had done is that." So that's significant. Also, 2 weeks in for us, I dawned on me that we hadn't been using our little microwave neck warmer just to kind of feel comfortable for the just what we thought were just normal aches and pains that you had to live with. And I can tell you, I haven't reached for or needed any kind of a Tylenol or ibuprofen since I started using them. I had breast cancer and was on chemo, radiation, all that 7 years ago, and had neuropathy in the bottom of my feet. So at nighttime, it would feel like you'd been walking on concrete all day. And it wasn't like sharp pain neuropathy, but it was like throbbing. That's gone. Something that I just noticed personally and even realized yesterday. Well, I'd noticed that my gums are no longer sensitive and my teeth don't bleed when I floss them. And especially if I forget to floss for a few days and there's no more bleeding. And what it dawned on me is they're also not hot and cold sensitive anymore. They always were. So that's really a huge thing. I could go on, but I will say this other thing in light of what you were sharing about your friend with Parkinson's. My dad has not Parkinson's, but essential tremors, which presents very similarly. And he started using the patches in February, and within a couple of weeks has noticed significant difference. And his tremors have gone from, it was to the point where it was getting hard to feed himself. He can do that better. His walking is more stable. So his gait is steadier. He has more energy and strength and focus. We noticed his mental clarity better. Well, in a couple of days, he turns 86. And he was out when we were there in March, chopping firewood and, for half an hour, 45 minutes. I don't even know if I could do that. But anyway, that speaks amazingly to us, to the things. And those are just some things. But I say the part about noticing like the hot and cold sensitivity to my gums is we haven't been on them using them quite 4 months, and give it time. Don't be disappointed if you don't notice something right away. We're so conditioned to take something anecdotally, like, well, I took this so my headache went away right away. I did this so this happened immediately. But we're not used to our body's own processes healing itself foundationally so that we don't have these symptoms or reactions. We're not chasing symptoms. We're actually going deeper to that, so where we don't feel those things anymore foundationally. So that's all I can think of at the moment.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's awesome.
That's a lot, and that's amazing things, and exactly what Judy has said. Like people have this expectation, day they put it on. Well, Linda, she felt like something good is going on straight away. But you know what? Don't get disheartened. You know, David talks about wearing it minimum 90 days. 97% of people see significant results in 90 days. Don't give up on what might be the solution to that challenge that you've had for so many years, or your family members had for so many years. And more than that, David says a month for every decade that you're alive. So if you're 50, 5 months.
Exactly. And that's, thank you, Judy. Thank you for sharing. Again, thank you, Linda. Amazing testimonials. And we hear these every single day. So the more that you share this with people, the more that they hear about it, the more you're going to hear these testimonials. And that's the part that, like I said, we didn't even know really anything, about the company. So the one thing that when we tell people about it, we say, hey, just go to This Is It info, take a look at that, take a look at the information, and give it time. Your body didn't end up like that overnight, unless you had an accident like I had. But what happened is that, once again, same thing, you got to give it time to recover, as well, and the healing, just like Judy was saying. So thank you again, Judy and Linda, for sharing that. So you want to talk a little bit about the company?
Yeah, so when we found out about this amazing technology, we did not know about the company LifeWave, and it is a 21-year-old company now, open in over 75 countries, and when we found out about it, the company was sitting at about 20 million US, okay? And they have grown dramatically to the point where we closed over 600 million US last year. So in 4 years, and why? Because of the introduction of this technology, nothing else. So that's over 580 million US growth in 4 years. What does that tell me? That people are using it, people are sharing it, and people are experiencing and having results, because this kind of momentum does not happen unless this product is doing things for people, and we're excited to share about it. I love the fact that it's not a Me Too product, because, and there's nothing wrong with Me Too products, and what we refer to as Me Too products are things like weight loss, skincare, supplements, because there's a ton of it. So there's a lot of competition out there. I might share my supplement brand with my friend, and she's telling me she takes another one, or a protein powder, and that person's taking another one. You can go to Discount, or you can go to CVS, and you can find these things on the shelf, but you will not find this on the shelf. You should not be finding it on shelves. The other thing is the company is predicted to close at over $1 billion US this year.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing, the growth that's happening. We're just at the corporate headquarters and got a chance to see what's going on. They're the #1 momentum ranked corporation in basically in this whole category of networks. Is pretty amazing. So we actually had a chance to spend time with Meredith Burkich. We had about a 45-minute conversation with her personally, which was amazing, just this past week. We're with Steve and Gina Merritt. They have a beautiful home now out in Utah, right near the corporation. The corporation just moved from California out to Salt Lake City, Utah, for tax purposes, obviously. So, and David Schmidt joined us there via a technology app via hologram, which is pretty amazing. And I got a chance to talk to him and answer questions, which is really neat. But they won the Bravo Growth Award, #1 growth company in 2024 for the previous 4 years. They just won it again this year, because the past 4 years, and even the founder of the company that basically does this DSN, the direct sales news, he said no other company was even close. He said, you guys are blowing everything out of the water. So if you ever want to partner with a company that has a tremendous technology and is going places, this is it. And that's what we talk about, the part of that we talk about with the This Is It info, This Is a team. Because again, Steve and Gina Merritt, he was actually a professional water skier. And within a week, his pain was gone. His wife's like, this is it. This is what we've been praying for. This is what we've been looking for. And now our team is global around the world, like about 400,000 people strong for the This Is a team within the past 2.5, almost 3 years. It's pretty amazing. So the big thing we're going to do is kind of shift right now, talk more about an opportunity. And before we talk about the opportunity, we always want to talk to people more about why would you want to do something differently. You've heard some amazing testimonies. You see about this product. You see how it's changing lives around the world. The thing is that a lot of us may do something differently or may not do something differently based upon our situation. Now, for me, I literally, the #1 thing for us when I look at all these words was always family. It still is family. #1 thing for us is family, spending time with our family, spending time with her family in South Africa, our family here, having time to do that. But the #1 word for me a few years ago was freedom. I was working a job that was driving me absolutely bonkers. They had a really good mentorship management, and they changed to more of a tormentorship management where they micromanage you every day, want to know what's going on every moment, every second. And like instead of celebrating successes, they basically, okay, what do you do next? What do you do next? It was just drove me nuts to the point where I'm like, I don't want this anymore. And within basically, because of the help, my wife and our whole team within 14 months was able to replace my 6-figure income. And with basically several months later, fired my job and walked into the land of living. We've quadrupled our income since, about to quintuple it, if that's a word or not. It's just amazing what's going on when you understand the growth of what's happening from a company perspective. But freedom is real. If you like the idea, I have no idea what this is. Let's just deny this. Sorry. So one thing that we can get messages keep popping up, but the freedom that is available out there to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it, have financial independence. You can have that if you want to. And we'll talk about that. But so a lot of things, other things that words might be, you might think of this, from a security standpoint. And I'm not talking about, barbed wire and fences and bars on windows. I'm talking about financial security. Having to be able to travel. We've traveled so much. It's been amazing. We've had 7 free trips that we've won between the team and the company. It's been absolutely amazing just in the past 14 months. Better health is the biggest part of that. Again, if you don't have better health, I mean, you could have all the wealth in the world, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't really matter. And once again, less debt. We're helping people. How about no debt? How about debt free? We're helping people do that. So whatever words you have, whatever you think of, I always say if you double, triple, quadruple your income, what would change in your life? And so we've been able to do that. And we're not saying that because we can't promise anybody anything, but we've been just sharing this. We can't stop sharing this with people. So we're going to just talk a little bit more about how we share this and what happens. So the business is set up basically as a network, which I love. I love that idea of helping people who help people who help people. Well, how do you reach more people? Well, you build a network. So it's the same thing that why do movies make, millions of dollars? How can you do $100 million in movie theaters? It's not just one person. It's one person who talks to another person, talks to another person, talks to another person. They say, oh my gosh, you got to see this movie, right? And so that's the same thing that happens with restaurants and businesses, how they become successful. Word of mouth marketing is the number one way. So this is as simple as knowing 4 people. Who are 4 people that you love? Who are 4 people that you care about? Because what happens is when you get started, you start as a brand partner and we get you the wholesale price, which is great. So I always tell people, would you rather pay retail or get it at wholesale? I still have never had anybody say, I want to pay retail. Some people have said, what's wholesale? I said, it's a better price. They go, yeah, I want that. But then what happens is now you can actually get your product for free by helping other people. So once you get started, you find maybe a brother or a sister, or maybe an aunt or a cousin or whoever. It could be neighbors, coworkers, whatever. You put 2 on the right, 2 on the left. Now you become what's called a manager. And as a manager, you can make up to $1,500 US dollars per week. Now, it doesn't start there. So it's 100 and 200 and 300, 400. It starts growing and growing and growing. Well, what happens as it starts growing, this person over here says, I want to be a manager. This person says, I want to be a manager. So now you get a manager on the right and a manager on the left. Now you're known as a director and you make up to $2,500 a week. And it goes up and up and up to the point where you can make up to $25,000 a week on just this one way. There's 4 ways to make money. On this one way is $25,000. Not too bad. So to give you an idea of where the different levels are is that you can, as a manager, you can make up to $1,500. As a director, you make up to $2,500. Once you have a director on your left, a director on your right, you can make up to $3,500. When we hit this level here, this was significant for us because when we hit the senior director, that we were making over $1,000 a week. I'm going, okay, this is starting to get some good momentum. And then when we hit this is what set us free. 6-figure income, this all day long, I'll tell you that right now. We then, within 6 weeks, hit presidential, which was basically the second highest rank. 6 weeks later, we doubled our business. The volume here basically went from 10,000 to 50,000. We doubled it in 6 weeks. And then literally last year, we hit the senior presidential director, the highest rank in the whole company. We've never had any kind of success like that before. But because we found people who found people who found people, and now we have business in 36 countries around the world, and it's growing and growing and growing. The company's now in almost 80 countries. Our goal is to have people in 80 countries by the end of the year. So hopefully you can help us expand into all these different areas. And I'll let talk about one of the most exciting parts.
So making $25,000 a week is pretty decent. It's 1.3 million a year.
Not bad.
But hey, if you're thinking, you know what, I'd like more than that, well, there's the matching bonus, and this is where you get paid a matching bonus off of the people that you share with. So like Ellen, who is super excited about the product, she shared with Linda, who is her first generation. And so Linda would get 25% off of the binary that Ellen gets 25% of the binary of Linda on a weekly basis. So if Linda's making $1,000 a week, then Ellen is going to be getting 250 of that. It's not taken away from Linda. It's a matching bonus. So she'll get her full check and Ellen will get her $250 there. If Linda then goes and speaks to Maxime, and Maxime is making $1,000 on a weekly basis, Ellen is going to get 20% of that, but Linda's going to get 20%. So your first, second, third generation, you get 25%, 20%, and 20%. No matter how far down on your left leg or right leg the person is, if they're your first generation, second, or third, you will be paid a matching bonus off of them. So the whole thing is David is saying to us, if this is a great product and you believe in it, share it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be blessed in return. What we're doing is we're giving people hope and really blessing them by sharing what might be a secret. Like, why would we want to keep this a secret?
Right.
If it's helped you and it's helping your friends, tell the world, because you're going to come out there thinking, my goodness, our good friend Dana, who wasn't even a good friend.
No, she was a
She was a
sister-in-law too.
referral from someone,
Yeah.
but she was facing amputation.
A
Do
leg
you think
amputation.
that she loves us and her brother-in-law now because she did not need to have her leg amputated? This was 2 years ago.
It's amazing.
She would
She's
have
lived an
been
amazing life.
she would have been limbless, like without a limb today.
Yeah.
But she saved her limb. She's lost weight. She's gone off 12 or 14 medications. Why? Because somebody decided this is a good thing to share.
Yeah.
This is a good, she might have been gone today. She had already flatlined twice. So when you find something good, what are we doing as social people, human beings? We love people, we care for people, so we share.
That's right. Yeah. And so what's interesting is the reason it's unlimited, you can sponsor as many people personally. We've sponsored over 200 people personally. We can't stop sharing this with people. We're going to sponsor people this week and next week and keep on going. So what's interesting is then you have as many people here, and then the people they bring, and they can bring as many people as possible, which they can bring. So this becomes thousands of people down the road where you're actually getting a percentage of what they're doing. So the exciting part about this, it's unlimited. And people are making over $100,000 US per week. Think about their second. Again, does it take work? Is it going to be overnight? No, it takes time, but just like anything else, when you understand residual ongoing income, it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and you can stop it if you want to. So how we get started, very simple. There's an order form. Hopefully someone should have shared this with you, basically a form. If not, they can send you an electronic copy of it. But basically there's 3 different packages to get it at wholesale. I always tell people based upon your income and whatever you want to, it depends on what you want to do. But just to give you an idea, in order to get the product at wholesale, you got to buy at least 3 sleeves. This is known as a core package. So basically it gets to you less than $100 a sleeve. This is normally $150 a sleeve. And honestly, they could charge a whole lot more, but they don't. David said, he goes, I want to make this available to every household. We want to put this in 1 billion households, that we want to make sure that everybody can utilize this technology, because everyone from a child to an elderly person can utilize this, which is wonderful. So once you get 3, it's really for the person who says, I just want to try the product, which is fine, not a problem. For people who say, I would like to develop a business out of this, we recommend the advanced or the premium package. The advanced is 6 sleeves, and the premium is the most popular. This is one that we got. We got 20 sleeves. Someone says, well, why would I need 20 sleeves? Am I just going to go out selling them? No. What Steve and Gina taught us, I said, Greg, what you want to do, Greg and Mena, you actually have friends and family close to you, right? I said, yeah. So if you have people close to you, if they say they want to get started, you can lend them one of your sleeves. So that what we do is when someone says, hey, they want to get started, say, Greg, tell you what I'll do. If you get signed up today, I'll lend you one of my sleeves. That way you can start right away. You want to start today, right? They're like, well, yeah, we'll lend you one of my sleeves. And then when yours product comes in 3, 4, 5 days later, just give us one back. And so what happens, we basically call it place and replace. So we had all these packages. We could just start sharing with our neighbors, our friends, or people that we know in the community, different people we talk to. We just meet up with them, and then all of a sudden, once their product comes in, they give it back. So what happened is we made this money back. So it's $1,750 plus tax and shipping. Figure $1,800 and change. Literally, when I looked at that, I said, Mena said to me, she goes, "Okay, we'll buy the business package, but you better make that money back quickly." I said, yes, ma'am. So we did exactly what Steve and Gina told us to do. And we made that money back in 2.5 weeks. How did we do that? Well, because the other way we make money is upfront money. They call it a product introductory bonus. We make $405 on the premium pack. We make $75 on the advanced. We make $35 on the core. So we had several premiums we signed up, several advanced cores, and within 2.5 weeks, we made that money back. Our very first month, we made almost $3,000. I'm like going, okay, this is great, but the residuals started kicking in. That's when things start really happening, because you can make upfront money, but then you're basically just like selling, so to say. But when you create teams of people and you create residual incomes, that's when freedom comes in. So all we do is we tell people, whether you're in core, advanced, or premium, you then basically want to get it set up in 2-sleeve auto ship to maximize the amount of money. So if you say, I want to make money from this, you could do 1 sleeve, but then you can only make up to $100 a week. I don't like limitations. Here, if you get 2 sleeves per month, so our monthly expense, I get a sleeve, my wife gets a sleeve. That's it. She uses hers, so I use mine. I'm like, you don't touch mine, I won't touch yours. And basically what happens, now our monthly expense is $200 a week. That's it. I've been working with business owners for over 30 years. Their monthly expenses are ridiculous. Their daily expenses are ridiculous. And when people talk about this, when I talk to a business owner about another business, I go, oh, no, I don't have time. I say, let me explain to you how our business works. And they go, are you serious? Okay, wait a minute, how does this work? And it's pretty amazing. So when they see this, because a lot of business owners are looking for opportunities, and that's the same thing with people that you know. So last thing I'll share with you on the premium is that they give you enough points, you're actually covered for 90 days. So you don't even buy any products. So anybody who signs up today, they're covered for May, June, July. They don't have to buy any products till August. That's why it's the most popular. That's what we did. We recommend it, and we'll help you make that money back very, very quickly. So once again, very, very cool about this. So this is a very simple process. You just let the person know, hey, this is what I want to do. We'll help you get started. You can always upgrade if you need to, and they can talk to you more about that at another time. So again, you were talking about this.
So the amazing thing is, like Linda was talking, Linda shared that the support is amazing.
Yes.
The support from her team in Sweden is amazing. The support from This Is a Team and all the This Is a Team leaders is amazing. Steve and Gina Merritt have not sent us a bill for these websites. They put these websites together, and they are so professionally done. Like thisisatinfo.com, no one can purchase from there, but it has absolutely everything that a doctor needs to know, that the stay-at-home mom needs to know. It's all on thisisatinfo.com. Somebody asked me about testimonials. I said, thisisatinfo.com. There's testimonials on there. You can go and find anything that you want. There's the patterns, there's the studies, there's David Schmidt explaining the product and why what he did to bring this product to market. Then thisisateam.com is the other website that you want to make a note of, because that has absolutely everything that you need to know to run your business. You don't need to go and reinvent the wheel. It's plug and play. It has scripts, it has onboarding, it has how to hit the different levels, how the payout is done. It's all there on your back office. So make a note of this, go and take a look at this. Don't try and do your own thing and put money out where you don't need to. It's paid for, it's there. Plug and play. And this is what you share with people when you share with them.
Yes.
Just share these websites with them.
Yeah, especially this is an info
Very
for people
simple.
initially. And then the other part, like Meta mentioned, is the compensation plan. We did a very high level review. There's a couple of videos on here. If you go to This Is a Team website, it says LifeWave compensation plan, click on that. You can hear from Steve Merritt, also from Danny McDaniel. They go over very much details of specifically how the money's made. So if you want to hear more about that. So there's other Zooms that you can tie into. So there's different ones, actually ones that out of the UK, another one's out of Sydney. We're going to be doing the one in Sydney in a couple of weeks while we're in South Africa, which is pretty cool. So we're going to be doing that. They asked us we had a bunch of Australians
if you have friends from Australia and New Zealand that are sleeping right now, they can join this one, which is 8 p.m. their time in the evening. So everyone is catered for. The Spanish speaking, there's a team Zoom on a Thursday, every Thursday night. I believe it's Mike and Sahi. No, it's Mario Cabral.
Okay. Yeah, Mario.
So he will be doing Thursday night. But Saturday training, and this weekend is Andy and Mandy Hosier.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They are great leaders, and you don't want to miss them. They're right here locally with us in Florida, and you don't want to miss the Saturday training. So jump on. If you happen to miss anything and you think, oh my goodness, why did I miss it? It's the chiropractor? Tony Smith. We were with him and his wife in Utah.
Great couple.
We actually bobsledded with them. They're just amazing. And he is so good. And if you happen to miss anybody's Zoom, you can go and get the recording. It's all recorded. You'll find it on YouTube. This Is a Team on YouTube. You'll find all the recordings. So everything, just like Linda said, the support is amazing.
Yeah.
Why? Because everybody can win, and we want everybody to win. So I do see there's 1 or 2 new people on this Zoom today that we don't know. Maybe you've been here before. But get back with the person that invited you. If you have any questions, get back with the person that invited you. And if you need to be in touch with us, let us know. We're happy to help as well.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to mention here is a convention coming up in August 8th, 9th, and 10th. They just made the virtual tickets available. They're available at a discount. So again, scan this QR code and you'll see a flashing thing. They'll say virtual tickets. You can click on there. They're normally $199 for the virtual ticket. They're discounted $125, which to me is awesome. And you actually have 45 days after to watch it, which is great. So again, this is worth every penny. We're going to be there in person. So if you're local here in the United States, you want to be there. You want to be whatever you got to do to get
Do
there.
whatever it takes
We got
to
people
get
flying in
there.
from Europe, people flying in from South Africa, people from Australia.
They're running out
Australians.
of tickets
Yeah.
for in person.
Yeah.
So don't wait, you know, and then say, oh, I didn't get one. David Schmidt is going to be there, Meredith Burkage. You don't want to miss it.
It's the top leaders, every top leader, yeah.
top speakers. Steve and Gina have pulled out all the stops for us. And, you know, when you go, you're going to grow.
Absolutely.
So take people with you. If you're watching it virtually, fill your lounge, your sitting room, wherever you're going to be watching with people.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the information is going to be so amazing. And 45 days for all of us to watch it afterward, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So last thing is, if you're serious about your dreams, like Meta said, get back together with the person. There really is hope for your future. We also people are hope dealers, not dope dealers. So get started with X39 today. Just get started. It's got a 30-day money-back guarantee on it. There's no risk. Try the product. When you start utilizing it, you'll be like, oh my goodness, you'd be like Linda, you'd be like, you know, all the other people sharing today. It's pretty amazing, all the different stuff that when we share with others, we want you to experience this product. So again, we got to go now. We got to get to another meeting. We always do a next level meeting. So the leaders who are on here, if you don't have that link and you want to get to the next level, you definitely want to jump on that meeting. We'll be starting in 5 minutes. But again, we're super excited. Once again, we're Greg and Meta Warmbier, actually out of Sarasota, Florida. Our goal is to help everybody become successful, you know, in this business. We want you to succeed. So please feel free to reach out to leaders, reach out to us. We make ourselves available to help people all around the world. So again, thank you again, Judy. Thank you, Linda, for sharing your testimonies.
Thank you
You're
so much.
amazing. So God bless you. We're going to be praying that you continue to have amazing testimonials and share with as many people as you can. So we'll talk to you real soon. Otherwise, God bless you. We all know that one thing is there's a lot of complications in this world today. And there's one thing that we know for certain is that this is it. So God bless you. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Have
Thanks.
a good day.
Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.
Bye-bye.